why you should play Plunder with Labrynth. Let's go. This is a wonderful turn 0 hand. If you have the ability to discard Whitebeard and you have a Plunder in your hand, you got the turn 0 plays. So we are going to be setting up the ability to be banishing a Kit Kalos. And once Kit Kalos is banished and they're not playing any fusion substitutes, what do? They scoop. So turn 0, before we even play, let's see what we can do. We get the red beard from the deck with the effect of the white beard, and the red beard is going to be identifying all the attributes on the field or in the graveyard, and if you have a dark monster, I could then summon the Dark Exceed, which will banish a monster you control. That's going to be now the time to whip out the red beard effect. Now, I was thinking about this. I could have went into Blackbeard because he is a water, and then I could go into the Moar so I would draw an additional card, but I was fearful of what if he sends a Tearlaments fusion trigger, then fuses with Kit Kalos and Tarut Kalos. I guess, that would be an issue. And I would chain the Blackbeard to it activating to fuse, and then I guess the Moar would banish it anyway, but that was an option. I really wanted to banish the Kit Kalos, which shuts him down for the rest of the duel. So I did prioritize Moar instead of Blackbeard for that reasoning. Now, the Tearlaments Kashtira replaces the Merly. He could then summon it, he could mill 3 plus mill 5. Let's get Banishing right here, right now. Now, why banish early? Why not wait for Kit Kalos to activate? Well, if you read her effect, she states that target a monster you control. So once she meets that requirement, you targeted the monster, I then chain banish. Well, it's special summon. If you do special summon, send the targeted monster, which is no longer there, it's banished, but they still get the special summon. If it said send the targeted monster, then special summon, you could wait on the effect, but otherwise you cannot wait. You gotta banish right here, right now, on turn 0. Be gone, Kit Kalos. Banished. He could equip it with a Rise. He could recycle it with a Crime. Good luck with that, though. Redbeard being sent to the graveyard is going to be equipping onto the Moar. The field spell in the graveyard could return any of your back row plunders back to the hand, so that works out well here. What are you even setting up without your Kit Kalos? Wow, Tier Kash is still doing things. Okay, so it looks like the duel's not over even after banishing the Kit Kal. And now we got to deal with a freaking Ariseheart. Kit Kal into Ariseheart. What the heck is going on? Moar is now gone. But now this is not activatable for a while. And he's also going to be able to make a Time Thief Redoer trigger a fusion by detaching the Sharon, but Kit Kal is gone. All right, wait, hold on. What the heck is he doing? He's activating it early, and he's sucking up my Blackbeard. Okay, Did he think it would go to the graveyard? It gets banished instead, so I think he made a little oopsie there. Time Thief could have stolen a trap off the top of my deck, which would then give him the ability to disrupt my field. Not cool. Ariane is really good in the Plunder version of Labyrinth. She sends a trap to the graveyard, which is not activatable because of the Ariseheart not allowing cards to be sent to the graveyard. So we're going to be chaining our Big Welcome. Big Welcome, return the Ariane, trigger the effect of the Lovely. Lovely's going to get popping before he even gains that third material. I do not think so. Torby Summoning is going to allow us to make a Chaos Angel, banishing the Birth off the field if we want to. And let's see if I can make some Plunder plays beyond the one we already did turn 0. We're going to be discarding with the Shipyard, grabbing from our deck Black Eyes. Black Eyes is great. If you have a Plunder in the graveyard, search for this card, add it back to the hand, special summon onto the field. Let's go. Black Eyes is going to lock you into Plunder only. Whitebeard is going to lock you into Plunder only. The Golden Hair is going to lock you into Plunder only. So you got to do all your special summoning before Black Eyes, Whitebeard, and Golden Hair effect. Remember that. Those are the 3. Also, the Welcome Labyrinth is not a big deal. That's only if you're playing a non-fiends. Let's go. Scooping on the Black Eyes. Now, we love turn 0. We make our plays turn 0. We get turn 0 in. Torby, discard the Whitebeard, set up the Big Welcome, come forth and summon. Why am I doing this now? Well, the Fenrir's Earth. And once you see that there is a desirable attribute on the field or in the graveyard, that's when it's time to trigger your Whitebeard on their turn. I'm going to be summoning a Lady Labrynth. Now, I'm really hoping to trick them into activating the Fenrir, but they're kind of smart. They're not going to activate Fenrir because they can't banish the Lady, and I would just chain to the Redbeard being banished. Didn't fall for it. That's okay. I think I could try to trick him again. I'm going to try to trick him one more time because what I really do not want to happen, I don't want Fenrir to banish my Jord. Jord does not want to get banished, so we have to trick him. How am I going to trick him? I forget how, but I do. He is going to be activating the whole T. I'm going to be chaining to the whole T. And then this is where I had an option. I could go into Jord, he banishes Jord, I still get the trigger of Jord, but Jord is then banished. Or, you know, at least, yeah, he chainlink 1, and then the Jord's chainlink 2, it's gone, it's not cool. I get to summon a Whitebeard from the deck, but let's see if we could trick him. Another opportunity to activate the Fenrir. Set up a Welcome Labyrinth because you activate a normal trap, triggering the effect of Special Summon, triggering the Fenrir like a fool. This is exactly when I want a Redbeard. You want to chain Redbeard to an effective Special Summon, which will be the whole T, or the Sarah, and like a fool, he activated it right when I wanted to use it. So by holding onto the Redbeard, waiting for the opponent to make a misplay, now we get Jordan. Summon for the deck, trigger the Jord, Jord summon a Whitebeard, and then Whitebeard could go into what other attribute he has here. I think I could just go into another Jord. He's playing just Earth? Like, what's going on here? Why is this trap not dark? Well, what's going on? We're going to get ready to Whitebeard, but probably during the end phase here. All right, he is going to be linking this up into a dark. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about now. Ideally, he had his toggle on like a fool, which was good. Because he's activating it on summon, I cannot, if I chain my Whitebeard, which is, I got to do this anyway, he could just banish my newly summoned Moar, and then I don't even get to activate it. If I were to Chainlink 1, activate the Whitebeard, he'd Chainlink 2's Time Thief Redoer, he could banish the Whitebeard, the Moar still gets summoned, but it's not a quick effect. So we just gotta hope that he banishes something else. Thank you for summoning a Dark. Now I got the Moar, and this I'm like, oh, what's he banishing? He gets rid of my lady. Now I'm gonna be waiting during the end phase, discarding the Shipyard, banishing the Sarah. So this is all turn 0. So this is my first turn that's about to happen right now. All these plays on their turn 0. Don't forget that. Now we shuffled up our deck so we don't get the lady anymore. We're gonna discard a card, banishing the Fenrir. Also, we could add another Shipyard, but I'm only playing 2 in this deck list. We're gonna big Welcome Labyrinth. Ash is going to negate, but we don't care because we have so many other effects to play with. We have Jord, which could summon a token onto their field. I think I would summon a fire token to then make our fire brand to be banishing back row. Sucking off a lady off the top of our deck. We're going to return a Redbeard in the back row back to the hand. We're going to return the Whitebeard in the graveyard back to our hand. Jord's now going to be summoning a fire token onto each side of the field. And we can now make a Blackbeard. Blackbeard gets Ash, but he already Ashed, so I could then go into the brand. I could then banish the back row. He's in big trouble. Got Shipyard, which will boost up our field per back row plunder we have in the back row. Black Eyes is here. If you have a monster in the grave, you want to be searching for the Black Eyes. Summoning the Golden Hair, making our Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard is going to be negated by the Impermanence as we attempt to summon a Bran, but I could still summon Bran by just making a level 8 Synchro. I have not even committed to my normal summon here. What is going on? Add back from the graveyard the Whitebeard, which I could then normal summon. I could special summon the Golden Hair. I could make the Bran. I could discard. I could banish. And my full field is super boosted. Boost it up. Bran's boosting up the other monster by 500. Per back row card, we have an additional 500. I was going to make even more plays, but the Mad Lad surrendered after that giant turn 0 duel. Ariane is great because she has the effect to send a normal trap from the hand or set. So make sure you use Chandelier or Torby, set up a trap to then send it to the graveyard, and then summon a Plunder from the deck. Or, in this case, we get an Ariana. Ariana for the clock because I want to be activating it. We're going to use the clock, then discard with the Chandelier, discarding the Whitebeard. Now, this is where it gets really tricky. Be ready for this. This is where you could screw everything up. Whitebeard has to be Chainlink 1, because if it is higher Chainlink than the clock, it cannot be summoned onto the field. Clock's got to be a higher Chainlink if you want to summon it, because it's locking us into Plunder only. And then the Welcome Labyrinth cannot be activated if the Whitebeard resolves. So we have to activate the Welcome Labyrinth right here, right now. There we go. As soon as this all resolves, we're locked into Plunder only. You gotta remember, Konami does not want you mixing up the decks. They have to put in these hard restrictions. So we have to be careful playing around the restrictions, summoning that Golden Hair, locking us into Plunder only. Very good, setting up the Welcome Labyrinth. And then we are making our Jord. It's a pretty big turn 1, actually. Jord's going to add back the Whitebeard as we're locked in a Plunder. We're going to put Jord in the back row, summoning a token onto each side of the field, a light, so I can summon List, which is a monster negate. Now we make in the Blackbeard. We're going to draw a card, plus have a monster negate, plus resummon the Blackbeard back in the field to then summon again during their turn. So we get that free draw, drawing into another Shipyard. We have the big Welcome Labyrinth activating to spin back the clock to trigger the effect of the Lovely to pop a card from the hand, triggering the Chandelier to add back to the hand. We make a big plays turn 1. We are Plunder Lab. Get poppin', and then let's go. So we already activated the Chandelier this turn. We already got the clock, so we're not going to be doing it again. Clock, activate, discard, Whitebeard again, locking us into Plunder only. So we have to make our plays right here, right now. We have to activate that big Welcome on the same chain as Whitebeard, otherwise we cannot do so. This is the final moment. No more cards can be activated to summon non-plunders. So Welcome Labyrinth, dead. Return back the Lady, add back the clock, trigger the Lovely, summoning Redbeard. Redbeard could summon a monster from the extra deck. Blackbeard could summon a monster from the extra deck. Pop a card from the hand. If he has a dark monster on the field or in the graveyard, we're going to be making a Moar. Otherwise, we have a monster negate. He gets a fire monster on the field, we could banish back row. We took out an Impermanence, which was dead due to the token on the field. The token also stops them from summoning cards like Fenrir. Lure of Darkness, YOLO Banish, set up. Okay, we're going to be summoning. Because only within the main phase are you able to use the List to summon a monster from the hand or from the back row. That's why I'm doing the plays now. Summoning from the back row onto the field, decides to set an additional card here. Now, let's break this up. Big Welcome Labyrinth, spin the token, trigger the Lovely, pop the finger, link this up into the Muckraker. We're going to be triggering the effect of the Redbeard as it was sent to the graveyard from the main monster zone. Now we're just going to put up lethal damage here. Now, I believe he Super Polys me. What are we going to do about Super Poly? We got the Shipyard. So this is a cool little play. We're going to be using the Shipyard to return back the Redbeard, but then we're going to chain summon it onto the field instead. Get summoning. Come forth and summon. We have 10,000 damage on the field. Activate the Shipyard. Now we get Super Polyed. Can't change it. That Super Poly is now going to be making a Garura. Do we still have lethal? Yes, we do. Blackbeard on the Redbeard, making the Moar, now boosting up the field by 500. We're going to discard Quick Effect Banish, attack directly with every single monster we control. Plunder Labyrinth. So you've seen elaborate turn 1s, elaborate turn 0s. This is the power of Plunder Labyrinth. I'm going to be golden hair, discarding the red to summon itself onto the field here. Well, that's kind of unfortunate because the golden hair could only discard a Plunder card for its summon. So we do play right into that. Redbeard equipping right onto her, which is not going to be doing much. And I am going to be playing into the Maxx C. Otherwise, you ideally, with a Redbeard or a Whitebeard on the field, is enough under Maxx C, which we didn't have access to. I mean, if we knew he had Maxx C, if he were to activate it within the start of our turn, I would have just normal summoned Redbeard and passed. So we got Blackbeard here. Let's see what we can do. Now, it's very important to understand that Jord is not just for turn 1. Jord is for their turn also. Get Jordan. We're going to Maxx C, try to fish out an Ash because you could Ash the Blackbeard. We do not want the Blackbeard to be Ashed. Now he's attempting to special summon a monster on the field, which is the perfect time to summon the Jord. I have no Plunder in my hand, so all the Plunder monsters from the extra deck, they're no good unless you have a Plunder in the hand. How do you get a Plunder in the hand? Well, the opponent's going to help us unknowingly get that Plunder into our hand. So he did not Ash the Maxx C, so the Blackbeard is safe. Summoning the Jord, we're going to draw a card, not drawing into a Plunder. And that's it. That's the big mistake. You special summoned while I have Jord, and now you lose. We're going to imperm negate the Alubird. Now, it's very important what we add and summon with the Plunder Jord, because we're going to summon all 3 Plunders. We had pretty much nothing. From nothing to something. Add a Whitebeard, summon a Whitebeard. This is insanity. The Whitebeard will summon the Moar. The Moar will discard the Whitebeard. The Whitebeard will summon a Redbeard. We'll banish a monster on the field. If he has a light monster in the graveyard or on the field, we can then make a list for a monster negate. Get ready. All this after getting Maxx C turn 1. We got the Moar. Moar, after discarding a Plunder, will be searching for another Plunder, and he even grasses us. And he does have a light monster in the graveyard, so we could go into a monster negate. He's got Retribution, recycling the Branded Fusion in the graveyard here. And let's look for the most opportune moment to use the Moar Banish. We have to discard the Whitebeard to go on the Redbeard to go into the monster negate. Get ready, get ready. We gotta be very careful with this. We do not want to lose this. Albion sending Retribution for the deck to the graveyard. I believe he already activated one. He's got Fairy Tail Snow flipping down the Moar, forcing us to activate, discarding the Whitebeard to banish the snow. Now again, we have no Plunder in the hand, but all of the monsters that activate to discard, if they are equipped, it's a quick play, and then you get to add another Plunder from the deck to the hand. So this is where we get the Redbeard, and this is the third Plunder during the turn. We went from Jord into Moar into Liss. Monster negate, monster banish, special summon a monster, plus add a Plunder card. So we're getting ready with the monster negate, and he's also under Maxx C. Albion. So when do we want to monster negate? Let's focus on that. I'm going to negate right here, right now. And then Mercurier is actually going to negate our negate. But I do have another effect to the Moar that I could activate. I should say the Liss. I could special summon the Blackbeard onto the field. So let's say you want to Chainlink block against Purely. You do want to use that effect against it. You have Chandelier and the Liss for Chainlink blocking potentially. Holy moly. He's going to be Cartesia fusion summoning, Lubellian fusion summoning. We just have to survive the turn. So he survived through a banish, survived through a monster negate. Can he survive through a Maxx C? Albion, come to him. He's going to be fusion summoning into Mirror Jade. He's got monster negate, monster banish. Okay. Activating the monster banish, which is my last opportunity to activate the list to summon another body onto the field. He is going to negate that effect to summon a monster onto the field. Okay. We do not get to summon. He now gets to banish, banishing the Jord. And thankfully, he did not have enough for lethal damage. So let's see what we could do on the follow-up turn. So he already used up the banish. He does have a monster negate. And he also is going to set up a Lubellian. He has Albion search during the end phase. He's far from done. Setting up the beast, which will pop a card. Cartesia add back. Albion set a backward card. High Spirits add back to the hand. Setting up a Brandon Red where he can pop cards with control. But we're not going to be just taking this line down. We're going to be setting up a big welcome. Triggering the blue, discard the lovely to draw a card. We're going to set up another card. We got welcome and big welcome. This is all we need. Now, the Branded Beast is only activatable in the main phase, and we could take advantage of that potentially, which it looks like I am. We're going to use welcome. He's going to chain Rinbrum, summon the Albaz onto the field. So what's really scary here is the Albaz will be the higher chain link on the field to then fuse with our field. So we're going to be chaining Maxx C to it. And he's chaining Branded in red for ad libitum to then fuse with the Mirror Jade to then resummon it. We're going to big welcome, but I have no card to summon back to our hand. I should say return back to the hand with a big welcome. So this big welcome sucks unless I summon a lady onto the field. Yeah, I am playing Impulse in this deck list. I ended up taking it out, but it was a cool play to, if they add a card from the deck to the hand, I could summon the Impulse or use the Impulse to summon a fire attacker, then draw 2 discard. Lovely. Return back the lady. Activate Lovely on the Chainlink 1, and then he's going to Albaz on Chainlink 2, and Guardian Chimera on Chainlink 2 or Chainlink 3. All right, Rinbrum gets summoning, and I think he gets confused by how complex the field is now, and I think he maybe just surrenders. Lovely activate, Torby activate. We're going to go into a Chaos Angel if we have Lovely still on the field here. Activate Chimera, activate Albaz. Also, Libitum, resummoning the Mirror Jade. This is getting wild. Discard to get Fusion. Chain Link 6. Chain Link 7. Now, I think he was like, wait a second. I want to pop Lovely, or I want to fuse with Lovely. So using the Dragostapelia was a big mistake here, because if he pops my Lovely, it's not going to be negated. And realizing that mistake, let's see what he does. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, you know what? I screwed up. I'm out of here. I can't use my beast because we're in the draw phase. Connection failed. Sure, kicking over the modem is not a connection fail. Let's go. Dude's got Maxx C. It is pure lab. Ain't no way. What's he gonna do? Clock, discard Chandelier. The common play of get clock in the graveyard, then Chainlink 2, use the Chandelier or the Torby to trigger the clock to summon itself onto the field or add back to the hand. This is where he Maxx Cs. This is where I have the option where, okay, I could add it back to the hand instead of summoning it so he does not get to draw. Okay, let's see what I do. I am going to still give him that draw. I'm going to normal summon because I still want to use it with my big welcome. He's going to Torby discard, set up with a Big Welcome Labyrinth, but I'm not going to use my Big Welcome early. I don't want to give him too many cards under the Maxx C. We're going to Big Welcome in the draw phase. Big Welcome versus Big Welcome. Activating Whitebeard. Does he have a Dark Monster in the graveyard? I believe he does, so we're now going into a Moar. We have a Monster Banish, or actually I'm going into Jord. Jord instead of the Moar, because you are activating a special summon, the Jord's going to activate. Even after this is returned back to the hand, you have no monster. I'm going to summon a Redbeard or Whitebeard plus add a Plunder from the deck to the hand to then go into the Moar. So the Jord is always extra advantage. I do advise you to go into that if you can. Lovely, but especially if they're activating a special summon. Return the clock as we chose to do. Activate the Jord because you special summoned even though it's not there. I summoned, then you summoned even though you returned it. I still activate. Lovely's going to activate a pop a card from the hand or on the field. And he can't chain summon Lady, it gets popped. Or I randomly pop a card from the hand. So let's see. I hit the Lady anyway. Lady, be gone. Add Whitebeard and summon a Redbeard here because normally you summon Whitebeard, add Whitebeard, but we used Whitebeard to go in the Jord, so the Whitebeard already activated, so we have to go into the Redbeard instead. It's really not that complicated. We're gonna go into Moar, which will be a Monster Banish. If he were to get a monster on the field, then we're gonna get Clockin into Chandelier to set up the back row. Now it's important to note that if we Whitebearded, we actually can't activate our back row cards to summon from the deck, but we're activating Whitebeard right here, right now. So before the Whitebeard resolves, we want to use the last opportunity within this chain, activate the Welcome Labyrinth, otherwise it would not be activatable. Add back the clock, Whitebeard gets summoning from the deck. Look at this advantage. It's too much to handle. Look at this. Look at he even Maxx C'd me turn one. There's no excuse. All right, we have Monster Banish. We can set up a token. Dogmatic Punishment must destroy it must send a monster with an attack equal to or higher than the monster on the field on resolution in order to get the effect of the end tis to pop a card on the field. Well, what if I don't want you to end tis me? I don't want you to pop a card in the field. I'm gonna get rid of the Jord. We're getting rid of it. We're gonna chain Lady. He's gonna chain Big Welcome before the Lady hits the field, which would then chain to the Big Welcome, setting a trap from the deck, so he did play this correctly. I'm going to use Big Welcome to spin back the Jord so you don't send an Entis and you don't get poppin'. Then we're going to banish your newly summoned Lady. It's over. This is Plunder Lab versus Pure Lab. So big shout out to Boohoo too for topping the Meta Weekly, getting top 4 with the deck. Triple Maxx C, triple Ash, triple Imperm, double Gamma. This is what I ended up really liking. I was trying out more Clock and more Lady, but this is my D. Just one of the Labrynth cards, just one Welcome. It works out. I love it.